the outside world. She thinks that the Berlin Wall fell because of poor construction quality. And so did the entire Soviet Union. So imagine the entirety of Russia just collapsing on top of itself. She has the personality where she is a walking incident creator, and so is a great character for mobilizing this destruction into the path of the main characters. The written works are a bit different in that we really do encourage that you go out, buy the games, play the demos if you're uncertain. But written works are, published in Japan, printed in Japan, serialized in Japan, and they're a bit more difficult to get here. So we do post them online, and all of these, as well as the entirety of the Three Fairies saga and their misadventures, is on TohoWiki.net.
So that more or less concludes what we had ready to present. Although before we move on to the Q&A, there is one more thing that I would like to do really quick. With the recent coming out of Hopeless Masquerade and all this fighting, I've never been a huge fan of Buddhists and Taoists fighting each other. There's a whole lot of that now because we're supposed to hate each other. But I don't like that. I'm more of a big peace, not war kind of guy. So Scott, I want you to stand up. Come give me a hug. Sokyo, I'll gladly take it. All right, so if there are any questions out there for this series, or for what's going on tonight, or for just about anything else, at least do try to relate to Toho in some capacity, please. Yes, you.
There is a CD here that was sold called Tahoe Boston 2012. Do you happen to know if they're selling it Tahoe Boston 2017?
I actually don't know. I was not aware of that CD. I have not heard of that CD. That's a very good question. I want to know about this now. Does anyone here know about that CD?
The CD is being sold downstairs in June 2012. But I could ask about 2013 if you want. FreezeX, FreezeX is gone? He would know all about it. His friend is the one who makes the CD, so he would be able to answer.
He is possibly going to be in the Artist Alley tomorrow.
I believe FreezeX is going to be in the Artist Alley all of tomorrow. I don't think he can get a booth otherwise, so if you do see him around, please ask him in regards to that.
All right. You in the plaid shirt there.
As even more contribution to that, I don't even know if there is a 2013 version. But anyway, this isn't, well, I guess it's a little bit of a different question, but how many entrants, or how many, like this? Oh, okay. How many people do you think you would need to have to like host a tournament for UNL or anything like that?
Well, ignoring the mental knee-jerk reaction of the use of UNL, I would guess 8 to 16, if not 32 or 24, something like that. I think you could cobble something together like that now that we actually have something prepared. Because back at CatsCon a few years ago, we cobbled together an 8-man elimination tournament on the fly, and it involved people that had never even played the game before. So I'm sure you'll be able to get something together, at least 16 probably, from the way we have the resources available this evening.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people would be interested in it. Or
yeah, so
I would think so.
Yeah, so if you want to partake in a Hiso Tensoku tournament, go see that guy.
Yeah.
You.
Oh.
And a lot of you can get together and organize a tournament. You over there in the Honda shirt.
Oh yeah, I got the shirt online. So I'm just gonna ask this. Which is your favorite Toho? Which Toho would you, yeah, which is your favorite Toho?
Thanks for cutting that off at the right time. Okay, well, I'll go first on this one. Despite what you may think by looking at the costume here, my favorite Toho is actually Alice. It's the first costume I ever made. Yep. Thursday back there is also an Alice cosplayer. Yep. That was the first costume I ever made. Went up to my mom and said, "Hey mom, I want to make a dress." She's like, "Yeah, that's great."
And speaking of his mother, he was in Alice cosplay yesterday, and he got his mother to wear his Shinky outfit.
Yep, she came to the con as Shinky with me as Alice.
I typically have a bunch. I typically have a sort of top 3, and that, considering that I've been in the Toho community for maybe about 6 years now or so. The top 3 right now is Yuko at top, who I think has the best sense of humor in Gensokyo, because she's that big of a troll. Mei Ling, because if that's a personality test right there. If you find someone that hates Mei Ling, stay away from them. And probably Byakuran rounds out my top 3. I typically tend to like both canon and fanon personalities, and the two together are what goes into what I think of the character. And I think of Byakuran obviously with the safe angle, but also I think a lot of fanon typically depicts her as a bit boinkers. So I wonder, I kind of think of her welcoming Nue into the Myoran Temple, saying with a big sign that says, "Congratulations, you're adopted." And so I think of her as different things like that go into my interpretations of the characters, and it's a really good balance of the characteristics in both canon and fanon.
My top 3, my first one was Aya, because, yes, back when, there's one over there. When I was first getting into this series was just about the time that Shoot the Bullet and the Hoboka show was getting released, and since I wanted to learn as much about the series as possible, she was the main character for the first written work, where I could go and look up and learn about the rest of the characters, and so I became drawn to her because of that. And over the years it's evolved because she's a very fun character to play as in Scarlet Weather Rhapsody. I like the fact that she's a jerk, but she gets comeuppance as well, so it's not like she gets to be a jerk all the time and gets away with it. In fact, she gets comeuppance fairly routinely. Second would be Racing, because how could you not?
Racing is another one of those characters where she's just very difficult to hate. You cannot mistreat that character and feel bad for her.
And my third one was actually Aki, because I found the idea of black and white judgment to that degree incredibly fascinating, and I also really, really liked her character design. She has more...
The silliest hat in Toho. Debate.
No, Kane has the silliest hat in Toho.
I don't know, man.
So that would be mine 3. Anyone else? Yes, you.
I don't really have a question. I have a comment, but I'm really shy. Yeah, should I just say it anyway?
Go for it.
Tomorrow for my birthday, I'm gonna be dressing up as Flandre Scarlet. So if you see a Flandre around, that's me.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Is there a photo shoot organized for tomorrow or not?
We've kind of...
You'll tell you in the back.
Oh.
At least I think I see you back there.
Whoa. With that said, these don't have to be your favorite, but which characters would you like to be more involved in canon?
Show, please, please. Stupid little tiger, so much fun.
Wow, that's like a really difficult question. Suppose Aaron.
Daring choice.
Yeah. My choice would be to have Kassen actually appear in a game.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
The problem with this is that Zune was asked, I believe last week, a couple weeks ago on Twitter, someone was asking a question. He happened to make the comment that he wanted to hear Kassen's BGM. And in the midst of his response, Zune said basically, "Me too." Which tells me that she's not coming for a while, and it made me very sad.
The problem with Kassen is that the storyline that she's involved with is not really, it hasn't hit the one big part that we're all looking forward to, and as such, she's kind of difficult to include in official works. I mean, if something big happens a few weeks after a certain game with her is released, it's kind of a bit awkward to have this now kind of character that doesn't have these certain characteristics that we were originally anticipating. At the same time, if something gets released with her in it, and there's some big revelation in that before the actual Well-Horned Hermit progresses to that point, it's just difficult to write around.
Anyone else? You in the back over there by the door. Because I enjoy watching John run around.
Oh man, this run is so girly. By the way, that guy's my roommate.
Thank you. What Toho would you like to have as your older sister? And why?
Well, let's see.
You guys tend to prefer the older sister type, so I'll let you two answer first. I have to think about this one.
Man, okay, so I've got a very interesting answer here. I think I'd pick Satori because that would mean I get to be Koichi.
There is a very specific class of Ara girls, and they typically wind up being my favorites. And so it's like, who do you want to be your older sister? I want them all to be my older sister. And Bjorn is certainly one of the ones, but Erin is also probably my number 5, and she would probably fit that role very well as well. Erin would probably be great because I happen to have a bit of an interest in the medical field, and